Oh yeah, Indiana, man. They are headed to the second round for the first time since 2014, beating the injury-riddled Bucks. Let's not get it twisted. They were injury-riddled, but I would have likened Indiana's chances with the chemistry the Bucks were having, even if everyone was healthy. Even though Giannis probably could have willed the Bucks to victory if he was healthy, but I guess we'll never know. Haha, fuck Kanye and shout out Kanye, I guess, at the same time. But I mean, Dame returned today for this game 6 with the Achilles injury. He was fine, but defensively he was getting destroyed, and obviously, I mean, he was not gonna be 100% with the injury. So he tried. Respect to Dame for trying. You know, a salute to Dame for this playoff series overall. And well, hopefully he'll have better luck next year, because yeah, it has been an unlucky end to the season for these Bucks, without a doubt. And the Pacers came out strong. They came out ready. They came out locked in. They weren't afraid of the moment this time, and they played with a huge pace, uh, which the Bucks weren't able to neutralize this time, and they kept up with them due to some tough shot making and utilizing their size with Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, and Bobby Portis. They made some tough shots, but the bench, the role players, didn't play as well as they did at home, obviously. And while and obviously the role players on Indiana played uh, at home better, and you know, Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell off the bench were special, man. What can you say? Obi Toppin brought some great energy and pace to the game with his floor running, and he even hit three-pointers, of course, 21 and 8 off the bench. And TJ McConnell was literally destroying the Bucks' point of attack defense and getting wherever he wanted, or to whatever spot he wanted in this game, yeah, on the floor, and hitting mid-range jumpers, hit 2 3-pointers that felt like shotgun shells, man, and he, had just 1 turnover, 4 steals. He was every fucking where, man. And what a game by TJ McConnell. He really just played sensational basketball. And um, the I thought the Pacers really played once again well in transition, and I thought the Bucks they're just too reliant on tough shot making, on mismatches. They obviously once again tried switching everything, and this time uh, it wasn't as clean. And Obi Toppin was able to take advantage. They were able to push the pace, like I said, while the Bucks were running on steam, running on fumes. And Patrick Beverley was out there doing some nasty shit. Fuck Patrick Beverley, man. I hope he never plays in the NBA again. Lame ass shit with the podcast, lame ass shit with the reporter. And it's a shame nobody stood up for her, because, yeah, Pat Bev, a nasty person, man, from what it seems. Or at least a nasty persona, if not a person. But what can you do? I guess some people just be like that, I suppose. But Bobby Portis is the same. I thought he was out there acting a little too much. I don't know, man. And the Bucks also tried to do too much to bait fouls today. I felt like they went to the line 32 times. They missed a lot of those, but a lot of the times they were out there foul baiting, man. And it was not a good watch, to be quite honest with you. But I'm really happy the Pacers did what they did. A really good bounce back game from Pascal Siakam, especially that second half where he was really good, and he brought the right energy. Aaron Neesmith hit his 3-pointers. He had the right energy. Andrew Nemhard might have been my favorite player in this series. He defended relentlessly, made some really tough shots throughout this series. That mid-range fadeaway, he literally did a little bit of everything in this series they asked him to do. And like I said, the bench difference was just crazy. And yeah, the Pacers are moving on, and I'm really happy for it. The Bucks have had an unlucky season, and they have questions to ask if they want to keep Brook Lopez, who was better um, after Game 4. And even in Game 4, I think he was better. But yeah, he's looking old and might not be worth the squeeze anymore. Maybe that's just me. And they obviously need some youth and defense off the bench, maybe more Andre Jackson, honestly. I don't know. I'm interested to see how they, makeshift everything around Damon Giannis and Chris Middleton, I think everyone else should be on the table because Chris Middleton proves his value this series. He was healthy. He played his tail off. Yeah, he shot 6 of 15 today, but he was sensational. He was sensational in this series and the best player on the Bucks. Dame obviously is going nowhere, and they'll have more time to build the chemistry over the summer with Giannis. And I think everyone else should be on the table to try to get better, to try to get maybe more athletic, maybe more younger off the bench. Um, and we'll see what the Bucks do. I'll maybe talk about it in another video. But shout out to the Pacers. Salute to them. We now know they'll be playing the Knicks. So that should be a fun series. I think the Knicks defense against Indiana should work really well, obviously. They'll be able to slow the pace down, and I think they'll also be able to run with them a little better. And I just think they'll be too physical against this Pacers team. But these Pacers have heart, so maybe I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this went 7. I wouldn't. But my early prediction is Knicks in 5. I thought I think I had the prediction even in the predictions I made. So we'll see. And yeah, as always, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. And I'll catch you all in the fans, if anyone is watching, in this series against the Knicks once it starts, which I don't know when it is. Maybe on Saturday. Not yet. Maybe on Sunday, maybe on Monday. I don't know. But yeah, thank you all. Be kind to yourself and others.